what's up, guys? Got another new video here. Tuned In Sports, the week, I believe it's 12 or 13 NFL review. The misery kind of runs together, so I don't really know what week it is. But one way or another, we got another video out here for you. My name's Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
I'm Steve.
I'm Don.
And boy, do we got some great action to get into this week. It was just all around the board another miserable week for all of us, really. Before we get into it, though, I did want to say, if you guys want to check out the review and hear our thoughts on the Detroit Lions loss, make sure you check out both, preferably, but
They
either...
lost?
Yeah,
barely.
The Thanksgiving Day special review, as well as DENT SPORTS review for this week. If you want to hear thoughts on that performance.
Yeah, that was a wonderful video. That one.
Yeah, so make sure you check out the DENT SPORTS one. It was beautiful.
Classic.
Yeah, that was the best one of the year.
It was
Classic TV.
It was a beautiful
Made
show.
for television.
Yeah.
It was made for you audience people that are fed up. So here we are. But so check out that if you want to see the Lions review. But we're not going to talk about it on this video, which is what I wanted to get at.
Why not?
So, well, because I figure.
I think it's good to rehash it some more. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It'll take them all about 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and get into the teams that we are going to talk about, though. We're going to go ahead and get started with the Cincinnati game. Obviously, the results weren't exactly surprising. They are out of quarterback, and the quarterback that they had behind them just didn't really perform that highly. So it is what it is. But, I mean, at this point, I don't think it really does Cincinnati any good to win any more games anyways.
Nope.
Because, first of all, I mean, even if Burrow was playing, all they're really doing is hurting their draft pick by winning, or hurting their draft status. But at the same time, I mean, with him in there, it's a different thing because the more experience you can get for him, the better. But with him being out, I mean, in some respects, just save your draft pick. There's no reason to win any more games. And I think between...
They can actually get away with tanking without looking like they're tanking.
Yeah, between Finley and Allen, I think they should be set to do that. My only wish is that the Eagles could have played them now instead of when we had to lose to them.
I don't know that it would have mattered. Truthfully.
Well, I think it would have, but either way, I mean, I wish... It sucks that he's out, but again, I mean, this could end up being a blessing in disguise because you already know what he's capable of. So,
yeah,
I don't think it's the end of the world,
no,
but
it's better that
tough performance for him nonetheless, though.
It's better that he went out when he did rather than earlier in the season because then he was able to get all those games under his belt, so he'll be comfortable with all the things that they're doing offensively.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an opportunity, like I said, for them to actually tank without looking like they're tanking.
Mm-hmm.
And, be able to, if not improve the offensive line, maybe get some defensive help early in the draft. Because, I mean, they don't need to have the first pick because they're not going after, Trevor anyway. So, I mean, if they can get in the top 5 picks, then they'll have a pretty good chance at getting some type of alignment or something that might be beneficial to them moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I'll let Don give his piece, and then I'll do my little spiel.
I got a piece. Great job by the Bengals to actually make this a game.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure the book probably helped them along, get them to only lose by 2. But good job by them. Good job by the NFC East to actually win a game. So that was a miracle from what we've seen so far through this season. But no, I mean, great job for the team. I mean, again, it's just like they did the week before against Washington, or you know what I mean, that they could just gave up and just went, no, we're not playing,
right.
And then not even just not even participate in this, and actually almost made it to a game where they had a chance to even win the game,
Yes.
near the end. So kudos to them. But like you said, just keep losing so you can get a better lineman in the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah. This actually, I mean, from a defensive standpoint, was a very good game for the Bengals. I thought their defense really showed up against the Giants this week. So, that part of it, I give them props because they, got injuries on the defensive line, just got rid of Dunlap not too long ago, and he's actually balling out on Seattle. So, good for him. But defensively, I liked what I saw all week. I mean, all game. And they made a couple crucial stops and actually had a chance to win it at the end. But, of course, in typical backup QB fashion for the Bengals, guy fumbles at the 50, and all we needed was, 15 yards to get in field goal range.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the Bengals losing in typical fashion.
Yeah.
That's just stuff they seem to do when it matters most. And it just sucks. But, T. Higgins had his, I think, 5th TD for the season receiving. So good for him. Overall, the QB just was not good. Really did not look good at all from the QB position. But let's look at the stats real quick. Total yards, they blew us out. First downs, they blew us out. We gave up less penalties than them, though. I cannot believe it. That's something that we usually struggle with. So,
Wow. Total yards, 155 for the day. Wow.
But, also props to Brandon Wilson, though. Because he had, first return of the day, had a 93-yard return for a touchdown. I mean, he can play, that guy, and he, I think, actually was like 3rd most on return yards average for last season. So,
kudos to the special teams coach.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing a pretty good job overall. So, outside of those two, there's not much positive to say, but that's expected. Outside of the defense and, just the special teams, not much positive to say, but that's kind of expected when you got a backup QB. Especially when the funny part about it is he came from the Broncos, who are
who could have used him this weekend
themselves.
Yeah, they would have liked to have had him this weekend.
No. He would have been in the group, so he would have been canned anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Nonetheless, sucks to lose, but like they said, it's at this point, what are we playing for? So,
yep.
It's good to get a loss. Can't believe I'm saying it.
Should be used to it.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
That was funny.
I was gonna say, it should feel like normal, really. But
Another week at the Rock Yard. Okay, click.
That's all right.
Yeah,
No,
it is
it's all
what it
good.
is. I was gonna say, you want to do that at this point. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter. I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
Especially if you can make it close and then lose. Then it doesn't look like you're just throwing in the towel. It looks like they're still
Yeah,
fighting,
the book,
like he said.
I mean,
the book likes you.
Yeah, the book.
I'm hoping. See, that's what I like. Even if we lose, what I like to see is us, contending, being in the game, putting ourselves in chances to win, even if we come short, because that just tells us that the team's headed in the right direction and isn't far away from being able to do something. So that's what I like to see, even if it ends up in a loss.
Yeah.
No, I think the team's played pretty hard, even with the record the way it is. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, let's get on to the next game. Denver had a contest, if you can call it that, against New Orleans.
Beautiful quarterbacking.
Yeah. The first team, I think, in NFL history to start a game with no quarterback on the roster, or at least somebody that's supposed to be in the quarterback position, starting quarterback for the team. So, I mean, with that being said, how could you not see this coming? It is what it is.
Right. It was definitely, if anybody thought there was going to be a different outcome to this game, they would. I'd like to get with some of what they're smoking, because this was not going to be a contest. It was going to be tough for Denver to win the game with a quarterback, let alone without one.
Yeah, for sure.
And hats off to the guy that did what he could do there. Trying to get the team moving the ball somewhat. It wasn't an easy process, and especially Don, like you said in the last video we just did, that when the defense knows what's coming, they're just stacking the box. They're not fearful of you throwing a pass because you've already thrown 2 interceptions previously, so they know it ain't going to happen again. And it was a tough situation, and hats off to the guy that went out there. And like you said, too, maybe he earned himself a spot on the squad because of it.
He looked athletic.
Oh, yeah.
He looked very athletic.
You can tell he could play. He can play on the field somewhere, but
yeah, just not at that position.
Maybe just not there.
Yeah.
Well, plus, he had absolutely no time to prepare, for a playbook or anything like that. So, hell, like I said, that's my hats go off to him, man. He did a good job for, being thrust into a horrible position.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's just one of those situations where, what are you going to do? Odds are you're going to be one-dimensional, have to run, can't pass.
Yep.
So, it's there's not much you can do in this situation, really.
Nope.
Unless your defense just plays flipping.
And they
but
didn't.
even then, it's like you're still viable to give up at least 17 or more points.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, one of those no-win situations, I guess. And, but props to the guy that, tried to go out there and do something.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, what you said about the defense, though, I did want to touch on that because, at halftime or close to halftime, I texted him and I said, if Locke was playing, I think they're winning this game. They really played outstandingly well on defense.
Yeah,
it's the usual.
It was 7-0 for most of the first
Yeah,
half.
yeah, it was,
end.
and it was not just like lucky. Taysom Hill, shoot, he might as well have been the guy that started at Denver. He did nothing. So they did a great job, but, have we ever said on this channel that when the offense can't do anything, the defense is going to struggle? Have we said that?
What do you mean, 3 and outs? Turn the ball over on your side of the field?
We've
Always
never,
positives can happen from that.
We've never. Hey, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Even though it's a different situation and set of circumstances, we're still talking about the same thing with Denver.
Yeah.
So, anyways, have at it.
At least, Tebow had somewhat of a chance to, on throwing it. But
yeah.
This was really horrible on this one. But, this one pretty much is just an FU to the NFL. They can pretty much, willy-nilly every schedule for every other team in this damn league, except for Denver for some reason. So somebody must have a crawl in there and that front office. I don't know if it's Goodell. I don't know if he's spending too much time in massage parlors with crack. But whatever the situation is, it is what it is, and we were the sacrificial horse in this case, not even the lamb, and it was just a black eye for the league, truthfully. So I think myself, I think we said in the video, I think the Broncos should have just knelt the ball and then have everybody on defense just lay down on the ground when the Saints got the ball, and then that would have been the game, and would have said, hey, screw you, NFL, good luck, enjoy this one. How's your ratings now? But that would have been, of course, shooting a horse in the head, with it anyway. But I saw this great cartoon that just came out, which was actually pretty funny. So, anyway, that was pretty much about it. Like I said, just my big thing is that they're able to move the Ravens game from Thursday to Sunday to Tuesday down to Wednesday. And you can't tell me you can't move the Broncos Saints game one day.
Yeah.
To have quarterbacks play, because again they've tested negative this week so far.
Mm-hmm.
So again, just my thoughts.
Was getting somebody in free agency, would that have been an option, or do they have to get
No, they
quarantined or
have to
something?
get you have to go through because that's what all the clowns in the world were saying. Well, why don't they get Kaepernick? Well, he can't because he's got to go through COVID protocol to even get there.
Yeah.
And then number two that nobody remembers is we tried to sign the guy, but he wouldn't take a pay cut.
Yep.
When he was with the Niners, so he said no. So why would we want to go after that guy anyway?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not to mention, I mean, it still would have been a situation where he doesn't know anything about the playbook.
No, exactly. It's going to be
any
the
of the
same
plays
thing.
or anything.
Yeah, it's just going to be running the ball around in circles.
It wouldn't have been much different than it was.
No, and so like I said, it was just really bad. I think just PR wise for the league, but like I said, like we always said, and everybody else in the country and everybody else, kudos to Hinton to showing up and taking the abuse.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just getting thrown around like a rag doll.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, it just looked like one of those old Warner Brothers cartoons. He was just, just whatever that was with it. But, yeah, good for him. And like I said, hopefully he can find a spot some way on the team in the future because I think the guys really liked him and they were, really happy for the guy to complete the game. So,
Yeah. I think that was a miracle.
Thank God he didn't go out with injury.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Because I mean, we still have another day that they have to go through with a negative test before we can even hopefully get any quarterbacks for the Chiefs game. So if we go into the Chiefs game without a quarterback, good luck with that one too.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
Yeah, because the league's not postponing it.
Oh no. Like I said, we just had the best NFC team, so now we're playing the best AFC team. So can't have them lose a game.
I look for the Broncos to steamroll them this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with no quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great.
they'll just probably say we don't need a quarterback. We'll just take it like it is.
Yeah. Well, we'll just go out there with 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was.
Defense is going to score enough points. We won't need the offense.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just brutal, and like I said before, I mean, it just really goes to show who the NFL does and doesn't really give a crap about. I mean, if the Ravens, like he said, Ravens and Steelers have been moved around like 4 times, and a bunch of other teams have been moved around to different days, but they couldn't move it 2 days just to see. Because like he said, I mean, the guy, a couple of the quarterbacks are today or tomorrow is the last day. So they could have been ready for, if the game had been moved to Tuesday or Wednesday, they could have been ready for the game if they tested negative, which there's a chance that would have been the case. They've tested negative so far, so it just sucks that they had to go about it in this way. But speaking of no quarterback play, let's go ahead and get into the final little segment here talking about the Eagles. Been waiting all night for this one.
Oh, okay, I'll go. I didn't really watch a lot of this game, but
Lucky you.
basically, yeah, probably lucky me. But from what I heard Bryson yelling about throughout the whole game, it wasn't too pretty. So yeah, just another loss in the NFC East. They don't seem to be too uncommon this year, and with the Eagles' remaining schedule, it's not going to get any easier from here. So,
Yeah. Well, my opinion is the limited amount of game I watched didn't look good either. It was just one sack after another. Very, very few positive plays that I ever saw. And the only positive play I did see was when Jalen Hurts actually made the pass. So it was just one of those days where nothing was going right. Defense actually looked pretty solid for a lot of the game, but that's where it stopped and started and stopped right there as far as I was concerned. The Eagles got a lot of questions to answer with the quarterback position and several others on that offensive side of the ball. So we'll see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, for me, it was just, just watching my team out there. It was just like defense plays well, offense doesn't know what the hell they're doing. Too many sacks, bad passes, bad decisions. Just horrible play calling. I mean, it was just typical Eagles football that we've seen so far this year, and it hasn't changed. And again, Hurst, was a nice change up, but I don't think it's a long term solution, because again, just like everything else, once they see you enough, they're gonna pick him apart, right? They're gonna find his weaknesses and then start playing defenses toward those weaknesses, and it's gonna be over. But again, it's just typical that they're in the game or just enough in the game, even with all this bad stuff. And again, just like watching a Broncos game. So, and then have a chance to do it and pull it out, and just never pull it out or come through with the pass or play that they need to continue drives or to make something successful, where to make it a better outcome. And then again, same thing, play calling, like it's like, you know what, I know you're at midfield and you're only like a yard away, punt it. Put Seattle into a corner, hopefully within the 10-yard line, and that way it limits their offense, because you're sitting here going, oh, we're going to make it, and you get stuffed, and then that gives the Seattle ball right at the 50-yard. You know what I mean? They only got half the field to go, and the playbook's wide open for them. I know these analytics happen, but you know what? Play football. Pin them back there. Make them run the ball, 2 or 3 downs, and have them punt. Guess what? You get the ball back again about midfield with the first down. Yep. So instead of just, here you go, here's free 50 yards, take it over and good luck. In which they'll go, thank you, and they'll go down and score.
You almost got to question, you almost got to question how hot is the seat of the coach at this point. Because, I mean, granted, he won a Super Bowl, 3 years ago or whatever?
2017, yeah.
So, I mean, with that being said, though, I mean, you got to wonder how hot is that seat getting?
Yeah, well, it better be warm, because it doesn't look good. I mean,
he's not making any adjustments, or
play calling's pathetic.
No, coordinator position's horrible, whatever.
Yeah, and they're not making good choices, and again, I know they're injured and X, Y, and Z, but you know what? There's still people out there making plays, and you just need to get it to them. But again, Wentz, I sent her like Bryson. I'm like, as soon as he took the 5-step drop pass, as soon as that 5th step hits the ground, that ball better be out. If it's not, guess what? You're taking off. What does he do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1001, 1002. Oh, I better go. And next, what happens? Sack. Again, that's the holding the ball too long that he's known for.
Yep.
So again, I know he can make plays, but you know what? Sometimes you got to go against the grain and actually just do what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of the ball. Can't win with them.
Yep.
Don't want them.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Yeah, it's so funny that he said that, because that's exactly what happened, and that's exactly what I've been saying week after week after week after week. And against the better teams, it really gets exposed. And tonight was no different than that. There's just so many times where he forgot what offensive line he has in front of him, and he just stands there and is like, oh, okay, well, let's just lollygag around. Let's go through all the reads and all this other stuff. And you just don't have time to do it in any form or fashion. Really, this was just such an upsetting game to watch. Biggest reason why is because if we had any form of an offense, we could have won this game, truthfully. Here's a nice stat for you. We have scored only 17 points 4 times this year, and 3 of those games that we scored 17 was the last 3 weeks. We've scored 17 points the last 3 weeks. What do we always say on this channel? Get to 24, you lose. We can't even do that. The last 3 weeks, we lost 17-27 to the Giants, which was bullcrap. It was some score at the very end in garbage time when Wentz was trying to do something, whatever. That was not actually that bad of a score. It was closer than that until the very end. We lost to the Browns 17-22. We lost to the Seahawks tonight, 17-23. And truthfully, the only reason we scored 17 in this game is because we made it up at the end. But I mean, to be completely honest though, it's not as if it shouldn't have been this bad. I truthfully, the Seahawks should not have even gotten this many points. The first frickin' possession that the Eagles had, come out with 3 pass plays. One of them had no chance. The other 2 were horrible passes by Wentz. That's how we started the game. Kick it to the frickin' Seahawks. What do? They don't even earn a score, really. They get walked down the field by penalties. Literally walked down the field. There was a pass interference. There was guys jumping off sides. Stupid stuff. I'm not saying they made 0 plays, but it was just horrible. Like, they literally were like, oh, can we give you some yards? Oh, come follow us this way. You know, we got cookies. I mean, it was just absolutely pathetic. Then what do the Eagles do? They get the ball back. Numbnuts tries to run the ball out of the end zone and doesn't make it to the 25. Once again, what do we talk about else on this channel? How about you just try to fair catch it, start at the 25? Because there was only one play tonight where I saw them get past the 25, and it was like the 28. So stop doing that stuff. We opened the game with, I think, 5 straight 3-and-outs. -4 yards in the first quarter. At halftime, we had maybe 70, and that was all because of one drive. Truthfully, I mean, I'm disgusted by this team, by this performance, by this offense. You know, talk about, like he said, talk about injuries all you want. Let me tell you something. The only person on the wide receiving core / weapons, whatever, that's out right now is Zach Ertz. That's it. Everybody else, and Deshaun Jackson. But we played without him all last season. So I don't care. Everybody else is healthy. We're getting all our weapons back. And our offense still cannot score more than 17 points. Pathetic. And to start the game the way that we started the game tonight, I do not want to hear, first of all, 2 things. I don't want to hear anybody talking about Jim Schwartz anymore, because that guy had the frickin' defense ready to play tonight. They did an outstanding job throughout the game. They played their butt off. DK Metcalf, yeah, he caught a couple of balls. What else is new? That happens every week. You're going to give up plays to him. He's the fastest guy on any team, on any field, outside of maybe Tyreek Hill. I mean, you're just not going to guard him. It is what it is. Slay, even with that being said, Slay did a great job on him tonight. There were some plays that he gave up, yes, but he did not do a bad job. So quit blaming Jim Schwartz when your offense cannot score more than 17 points week to week. I don't want to hear it. I'm tired of listening to it. I'm tired of reading about it. Stop it. That guy is doing a fantastic job with his team, especially when you consider the injuries. Last year we had 5th string cornerbacks and we had a top 15 defense. I'm tired of hearing about that. Second of all, I'm sick and tired of hearing about Doug Peterson being this outstanding coach that got us to a Super Bowl. Well, guess what? How many weeks in a row are we going to come out here and have a freaking putrid start? If we're behind by 14 points to the Seahawks before we even decide to get a positive gain on offense, we're going to lose. We are going to lose. It doesn't matter. I don't care if the defense could have played better, if special teams is not just fair catching the ball and they're just trying to run it out and starting. I don't really give a crap. When the offense is doing absolutely nothing, you come out making stupid plays, stupid passes, holding on to the ball too long, getting sacked more times than you don't, we're going to lose the game. The offense is horrible. Whoever the freaking offensive coordinator is, like he said, the play calling was atrocious at times tonight. And biggest thing of all is I'm sick of hearing about Peterson when week to week to week to week, we get down by 15 points by the time we put a point on the board. And that was the problem tonight. We got behind by so much before we even decided to show up on offense. And by then, we're playing against a team in Seattle that has an offense. You're going to lose the game. And that's exactly what happened. We got behind by too much, and then you just lose. And that's happened about 3 times in a row now. We lost to the Giants for that reason. We lost to the Browns for that reason. We lost to the Seahawks, Ravens, Steelers, tied the Bengals for that reason. We lost to Washington because we actually got out to a start and blew it in the second half. Then we lost to the Rams because guess why? We got out to a slow start. By the time we came back, the game was over. Man, oh man, I am sick and tired of hearing about Peterson. This guy does not know how to get the team ready for the game. Period. End of story. That's all. That's it. He does not know how to get this team ready to start the game. We have too many weapons to not be able to score by 17 points. Wentz, you look like an idiot out there. I'm sick of watching you stand there with the ball too long. And then when you get rid of the ball, I almost wish you didn't, because you freaking made some horrible, horrible passes tonight. I understand that you're getting rushed, but at the end of the day, if you cannot pass the ball decently to wide open receivers, we don't need you. Can't win with them. Can't do it. All that stuff. Get him the hell out of the city. I'm sorry to say, I'm a huge Wentz supporter, but get him out. I'm done. That's enough of him. I've seen enough of this clown show. But at the same time, I mean, when we're doing stupid stuff like having just dumb penalties, we can't get people out there that know the snap count to stand there till he says hike. I don't care who's back there. When we're looking at 3rd and 15, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 8 against Seattle, against Cleveland, against Pittsburgh, against Baltimore, against LA Rams, against anybody, we're going to lose the game. That's exactly what happened. I am tired of watching it. I'm tired of rooting for it. And truthfully, if you can't watch the tape, if you can't make adjustments, if you can't find some way to not, if you can't find a way to not move the ball for a first down in 5 straight drives, you got to go. You have got to go. That's the end of the story right there. I could have gotten them a first down. I guarantee you. You don't need to make $40,000 to lose by 50. Lou Holtz said it best. You don't need to get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to lose by 40 points. You don't need to get paid that much money to go 3 and out in 5 straight possessions. You couldn't come up with something? Nothing? Not a single thing? And this is to start the game. This is when the first, if you watch the games that are blowouts, usually when the teams get the points, it's either on the very first possession and they don't score again, or it's way late in garbage time. But oftentimes, hell, even the Broncos, most weeks, they score on the opening possession. A lot of times. Same with the Lions. But look at their records. I mean, I'm just saying, like, even though, they can't finish games and stuff like that, they find a way to score on the opening possession most weeks.
Let's say all of us are sitting at 4 wins. So it's about the same.
Yeah, no, well, that's true. That's true.
I was going to say, look, same.
Yeah. Hell, if I'm not mistaken, the Bengals scored on their opening possession this week. Or one of the first ones.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Where's the game planning? Where's any of that? Week after week, we're starting with just 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
Actually, our first score was kick return for a touchdown.
Okay, whatever. But I'm just saying. Even the point is that even teams that suck are able to score on the first possession generally because the teams aren't settled into the game, and a lot of times they're able to maneuver their offense and do whatever they want on the first possession because everybody's cold, they're not into the rhythm of the game yet, and stuff like that. Most teams are able to do that. What did we do? We came out with 3 straight incompletions. Then, when we get the ball back, the first thing we do, we're inside the 15-yard line, and we get the ball, we run it, and get -4 yards. and it was like an obvious running play. I was like, oh my God, I don't even need to be on defense to know that they're going to run the ball right here. They ran the ball, and it got blown up in the backfield. I could have told them that. I was like, okay, they're going to run it right here. I mean, it's duh. It's obvious. And then guess what we did? We ran it again. It went nowhere. Then we're sitting at 3rd and 12 or something stupid, and Wentz can't hit the broadside of a barn, so of course that's going to be a 3-and-out. Last thing. I mean, I could really go on for a while here, but I'm going to cap it off here. This frickin' punter, oh my God, the punter that we have, I don't know what his average for the night was. Truthfully, I don't want to get sick, so I don't think I'm going to look. But the dude, like, so many times, we'd even kick it at, like, around the 20, 25-yard line, and they'd end up starting either midfield or on our side. Horrible punting. Horrible. Absolutely sickening. Oh, and that reminds me, special teams. Hey, Jake Elliott, try making an extra point. I mean, good God. What kind of league are we in right now when this guy is making 60-yard field goals and can't make an extra point? I feel like I'm watching Matt Prater out there. I mean, he missed an extra point, and then later on he had a couple of field goals, as a matter of fact, from pretty long distance. And I'm like, what? You can't make an extra point? I mean, it seems like nothing, like Don says with the Broncos all the time. Things that seem like nothing, but at the end of the day, ended up making a big difference. For instance, when we were only down by 8 points or something like that, or a couple of points, instead of just punting the ball because we were still in it, they felt like, and we were on like the 20-yard line, they felt like, oh, well, we're down by 8, so not only do we need a field goal, not only do we need a touchdown, but we also got to get 2, so we better go for it. And then ended up missing it. I could have told you that was going to happen. Surprise, surprise. Offense sucks, and you're going for it. We needed the points right there. That was such a terrible decision, and that gets back to the whole thing with Doug Peterson is just stupid, flipping, play calling, dumb decisions, going for 2 when you don't need to, going for it on 4th down when we're still in the game. The defense has played like a freaking monster, and here you are going for going for it on 4th down when you don't need to, and just horrible. I'm sick of watching it, and I mean, a lot of the weeks, I'll be honest, guys, I don't even watch the entire game because I watch Red Zone most of the time. So the weeks that I really watch the entire Eagles game is when they're on in prime time. And so far, they make me sick every time I watch them on prime time, but that's not the point. The point is, I watch little snippets of them on Red Zone, and I can tell you what the problem is. So if I can watch a total of maybe 8 minutes on a given Sunday, right? I don't know how long it would actually be. Let's just say 15 minutes. I'll be generous. If I can watch 15 minutes of a period of time where the Eagles are shown on Red Zone, and I can tell you what is wrong, what we need to fix, what is the issue, and what needs to happen moving forward. If I can do that in the short period of time that I watch on Red Zone, and these freaking coaches can't figure it out when they watch the game over and over again all week long, and they're on the field, and they're supposed to be watching tape, and they're seeing practice, and they have nothing else going on because of COVID, and everybody's stuck at home. If I can watch 15 minutes and tell you what the problem is, and these guys can't figure out how to get 17 points, how to not go 3 and out, how to not miss extra points, how to not do the same thing week to week. Wentz can't figure out how to get rid of the ball. He can't figure out how to hit the broadside of a barn. We can't figure out how to get the running game working. Defense does a great job, but it doesn't matter because the offense is anemic. If we can't figure this stuff out, and I can figure it out in 15 minutes, people need to be fired. Done. Sick of it. That's it.
You should watch the whole game. I think it'd be really great. I mean, I watched all the Bronco ones, and it's fantastic.
You know what? And yeah.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say, Elliot, do your job because the NFL had to go for 2 at the end to cover your butt.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't need to go for 2 at the end, if you would kick extra points, they could have covered the 6 in the hook all by themselves without making it look a little wonky out there tonight.
Yes.
You went ahead. I mean, they were only down by an extra point to go down by 7, but hey, let's go for 2. Why's that? Well,
So I'm just looking here and I was trying to find out who the offensive coordinator is for the Eagles. Well, they don't have one.
It's obvious.
And Doug Peterson decided he didn't want to hire one. So that's why. So he's making all the calls. So there we go.
Okay, well, that just gives me one more reason to say, get him the hell out of here, too. That's all I can say, because I'm sick of watching this show. As a matter of fact, hire me. Hire me. I'll go out there, and I'll tell you exactly what you need to do, because apparently I'm the only one watching tape, and I'm only watching 15 minutes. And I could tell you what the problem is. It just doesn't make sense. I don't get it. How do you be this bad?
You can go out there with some sweet 1980 shorts and some whistles, and you'd be awesome, man.
Now, I'm going to say one last thing, and this is to end it on a positive note, and that is that I read today that this is the 10th different configuration of an offensive line that the Eagles have had, and we're only in week 12 or 13. So, yeah, only week 12, and this is the 10th configuration of offensive linemen on the field. So what does that tell you? We're getting hit with injuries. Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. But, okay, well, am I the only one that knows that? Apparently Wentz doesn't know that because he thinks he's sitting behind the Steelers' offensive line and, oh, yeah, look at this. Oh, man, look at that hottie out there in the left center. Woohoo! Look at her.
It's a cardboard cutout.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly.
Maybe he needs his eyes checked if he's looking at that.
Well, yeah, obviously he needs his eyes checked because the interception he threw in the third quarter, that was freaking pathetic. Good God. As if we needed any help screwing ourselves out of this game. That freaking moron. I'm tired of watching it. And, again, all I need to say is, again, if I can see this stuff, and I don't even watch the whole game a lot of times, but even when I do, even in the snippets that I see, I can diagnose the problem, and you guys are getting paid. This is your job. You're supposed to be spending week to week to week, the whole 7 days, whatever, to figure out what you need to do to improve, and we're still seeing this week to week. Then obviously you're either incompetent, you're watching a different tape than I am, or you guys just want to lose. That's the only options. That's it. You either want to lose or you don't know how to win. Because this is your job to sit here and watch the tape, figure out what the problem is, and improve week to week and do things different. But instead, we just throw the same ragtag group of BS out there on the field and say, hey, remember this last week? Remember how we got down by 25 before we even scored? Hey, woohoo! We're back at it again tonight. Thank you. See you next week. Tune in and you'll see the exact same thing that you see in week 1, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 7, week 9, week 10, and instead we're going to do it against even worse opponents when we start playing in our division. So I can't wait for that. And yeah, I'm done. I mean, like I said, I could go on for a few more hours here about this freaking garbage I'm seeing out here, but it is what it is. I wasn't expecting to win this game going into it. So once again, they proved me right. Just the same garbage that we make jokes about week to week. They proved exactly why it's worth making jokes about, because they are a joke. The coach, the quarterback, the running back, the defense is not a joke, but people make jokes about them anyways because they get the brunt of the offense being a walking trash can. And yeah, so great job, fly Eagles fly, right into the trash, and take everybody else on this channel with you, I guess. I don't know. I mean, none of us seem to be able to win any games, so
I think all 4 of us should have our OCs do a Zoom call. Maybe they can figure it out.
Yeah. Except for mine will be the only team with the head coach on there.
That's all right.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. He can get all the advice that he
He'll be looking
wants.
for work before long too, so it won't matter.
Yeah. Well, he
I think
better
we
be.
got- my guy's already fired, and the other, who knows what the other three.
You know
is.
what?
Yeah, I mean,
I would say Shermer's not flying very well.
No.
So.
You know what? That leads me.
Hey, we got a son quarterback though. Yeah.
That leads me to my final point. Fire Doug Peterson, and in the offseason, there's another guy that's been to a Super Bowl that's going to be looking for a job. His name is Jim Harbaugh. I guarantee you, if we sign him in 3 years, we'll be a hell of a lot better than we are right now. I can guarantee you, we will be a hell of a lot better than we are
I
right
thought you
now.
were going to say Matt Patricia.
No, he's never been to. Well, I guess he has, but not
He's
as
been to
a
many Super Bowls.
not as a head coach though. I'm talking about guy with head coaching experience that's played in big games and stuff like that. I guarantee you, we hire Jim Harbaugh, we are going places, and you can take this same roster and we'll have double the wins, which isn't saying much because we only have 3. But still, we'll have triple. We'll have 9-10 wins every season with Jim Harbaugh, and this guy can't manage to figure out how to not tie the Bengals. So that's enough of that trash. Thank you for watching. And my name's Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
I'm Steve.
And I'm excited for next week.
Get in line. That makes 4 of us. We'll see you guys in the next video.